Hello, Renee Flamond here. Therapy with the narcissist. It's a last-ditch effort, isn't it? I mean, when anybody goes to therapy in a relationship, it's a last-ditch effort, I think, for anybody, narcissist or not, with a narcissist or not. And there are several things to keep in mind with this. And I'm going to get to all of them as this video unfolds. Many have been down this road where they've tried therapy and are trying counseling, and they're hoping it helps. They're convincing themselves it's going to work. And I'm not here to squash that hope, but I suppose kind of I am a little just by the action of making this video. But that's not the focus to squash your hope. The focus is to have you be realistic, and I'm trying to help you manage your expectations if you are indeed going to therapy, considering counseling with a narcissist, okay? And trust me, I believe in therapy for everybody, just like I believe in braces for everybody. Even if somebody doesn't get either, everyone can use either, both, right? Everyone. First off, with the therapy with a narcissist is that to truly get the benefits of counseling, I think we all know by now that you must want to be there. Genuinely want to be there. Now, my narcissist suggested it. Oh, sure he did. Of course he did. Let's go. I'll go. Please, I'll do anything. Please. I never did the appointment or even entertained it because I recognized the offer as the manipulation that it was. You follow me? He was beat, defeated, caught, desperate, not ready to lose me as supply. So this was his bargaining, right? We talked a lot about our bargaining, but this is theirs, isn't it? This is their effort to show. They're promoting anything and everything to you in order to secure their current situation. Why? Why don't they just drop it? Yeah, I've asked myself that a million times. They're caught. Why don't they just move on? Many reasons. They don't have new supply line. I'm freezing. Can you tell? That's why I'm rubbing my hands and she's still in her warm pajamas and I have my Led Zeppelin blanket on because we're cold in Florida. And I apologize. I know the country, everyone got walloped up in the East Coast. I know. But we are cold in Florida too because 40s is cold no matter where you are. But you know, I feel like there are many reasons. They don't have new supply lined up yet. They want to win this, even if they turn around and dump you again. But they want to win. Don't forget, this is a game they play. This is a game they play. They want to be the leader. They want to be in control. As you're screaming, throwing their things in plastic garbage bags again that have accumulated around your house, that's not a decision that came from them. Not the first time, the second time, or the third time, or maybe there was even a fourth, fifth, you know what I mean? That's not a decision that came from them. If there is a departure or a discard, an ending, it has to be from them. Has to be in their world. The business of you taking those reins and having had enough simply does not suit them. It's unacceptable. So they promise to change, and they use the suggestion of therapy to sell this to you, to sell you that they're going to change, right? Pardon me. They bargain. And offering to go to therapy, counseling is really the Mac Daddy of all things they could offer, isn't it? They're showing their vulnerable side. I'll go to therapy with you. They're acting like they realize something is wrong with them. I love when they do that. I've been this way my whole life, but I'd like to fix it for you. What is not happening here is they do not really see themselves as broken. They just want to diffuse the situation. Their interest is their own. Difference being, okay, you have a couple, non-disordered. and there are things wrong, apologies are given, genuine remorse, and a desire to fix. Both people have it, right? Therapy could work in that situation. Of course it could. Because in this particular case of a non-disordered couple, the two people will hopefully go in there and dutifully and honestly talk with the therapist, because both people truly seek a solution to the situation that has gone wayward in whatever way it went, right? The narcissist has zero thought that they're doing something wrong. As much as they've done wrong, they have zero thought that they've done anything wrong. When I say that, what I mean is they do know logically, and as compared to societal standards, that their behavior is deplorable. But they think it's okay for them to act that way and just continue to work on deceiving better, just improving their getting caught, right? So they'll go to therapy, but their plan is, I'll just be better in the future, and I'll make her think I changed. I won't get caught again. That's not really a genuine position from which they're going to therapy. They'll suggest therapy to look concerned, and they'll go to like check off making an effort, right? I went to therapy, but will they be honest with the therapist? They're not even honest with themselves. And let's face it, if you hear somebody say, oh, they've been in therapy 10 years, and people sell that as like, that's how healthy they are. If you've been in therapy 10 years with the same therapist, you're either lying to your therapist or they're not a good therapist. I'm sorry. Because I've known people. One person in particular I have in my mind. And I said, are you being honest with them about, because I knew her issues, and I know she's not being honest with that therapist. I know that she wasn't. And that's what'll keep you, right? They say you should see or feel or sense some kind of change, something in you, 3 to 6 months, right? So I feel that when they're not even honest with themselves, you know they're not, oh, she turned. She's been sleeping in her really warm pajamas. Those are my favorite pajamas on her, so it's been so cold. So that's why she's wearing them. They're fuzzy. I feel like you know they're going to be lying to the therapist. They're going to charm the therapist. They're going to love bomb the therapist in their own way, right? You'll hear them say things like, probably like, well, you know, I bow in deference to your intelligence, but the other day, this is how it went down, Dr. So-and-so. Like, they'll compliment the therapist. They'll be charming. They'll do all those things. And the narcissist is left swooning over your partner, the narcissist, and they can't give an objective. You know, and I'm not trying to down therapists and say that they would do that. That's not what I mean. I just realized that kind of came out that way. If you get a therapist who's privy to this disorder and this personality type, they won't be a victim to them. But they will lie. Whether or not the therapist falls for their charm, they will lie. The narcissist in therapy will not be completely honest. And don't forget, a huge part of recovery from anything ill is that you fully realize you have the problem. You need the help. Want the help. Want to change. Someone without any of these elements could never change. Like an alcoholic or a drug user, right? Unless they see the problem, we've all seen enough specials, movies, intervention, documentaries on the topic, or maybe you've suffered for it yourself. Unless you see the problem, admit the problem, genuinely want to fix yourself, forget it. You're gonna, you know what I mean? That's why some people are successful in recovery and some are not. It has to come from you. The narcissist does not think that they're broken. They've lived this way and it works for them. And they think they're just fine. The therapy is to appease you. Yes, Even if they cry and say they want to change, they can even walk a straight line for a while, show you, convince you they can do it. Oh, yeah, of course. I could never trust it. No matter how straight a line, no matter how long the time period was that they walked a straight line, not when they're doing it to schmooze me that they've changed. How do I know that? Because they'll snap eventually. I went through it, and yes, I had a shorter time with my narcissist than many of you have had, but they will snap back to their original and genuine place that they reside within themselves eventually. At the first sight of any blip, their natural state in which to exist is a completely chaotic mess of destruction. Going forward in a situation like this, they are obviously going to be not happy with the parameters that you will probably set for them. Of course there are going to be parameters set for them. Of course. I'm going to move this so that you can see her little face. Look at how cute she is. Of course there are going to be parameters set for them. I feel like, and within which the narcissist will be expected to exist, and they won't like that. That will be very uncomfortable for them, and we know that. They don't like to have parameters set. They're entitled to behave any way that they want. And the millisecond you have a disagreement or you challenge them in any way whatsoever, they'll boomerang right back to their natural state of mischief. They absolutely will. It's guaranteed. They cannot and will not ever see the light. And it doesn't matter what you think they look like now. Oh, well, he looks happy or she looks happy or... Of course they do. They looked happy with you to the supply before you. She was saying that about you. Well, he looks happy, right? He looks happy. Oh, my God, it must have been me. Oh, my God, no, don't ever think that way. 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 The therapy is a shtick that they will present to you, like I said, as evidence that they're really in it. They're really going to try, and they're really going to make this effort to improve themselves. And I'm so sorry that I did this to you. I really want to learn. They're saying that because they want to win this battle. Every time that there's an infraction or a transgression, it's another battle, right? The relationship with a narcissist is battle after battle after battle after battle after battle. You winning the whole war is you walking away or getting a handle on something if you can't walk away and trying to gain control in some way in your life. But this battle after battle, when they're suggesting therapy, they're trying to win this latest battle, the latest infraction, the latest big fight that led you to say or them to say or agree that they'll go to therapy with you. I just want to manage your expectations because, you know, they may come out of there, you may be feeling good, they may be acting like, you might feel like on a top of the moon, like, oh, that was a good session. Or the drive home might sound like this, and I think I've mentioned this before, you saying to them, why'd you say that to the therapist? That wasn't true. And they'll throw in a little gaslighting and say, I didn't say that to the therapist. And you'll say, so you're going to lie to me right now about you lying to the therapist 10 minutes ago? And then they're going to gaslight you and tell you you're crazy. That can happen too. It can be a big frustrating mess when you go to therapy with a narcissist because they're not really thinking or wanting change. I don't get it because I really am always open to hearing. Well, I guess that's because I'm non-disordered in that way. I have my own disorders, right? We all do, right? No one's perfect. But I'm open to hearing if somebody says, you know, Renee, this, and this. My reaction is always open. I'm always like, really? I didn't see it that way, but I apologize. I certainly didn't mean. Their reaction is, no sir, not me, no way, I didn't do that. They don't feel broken. They're perfectly happy going through life the way that they are, even if they're ultimately miserable. Because deep down inside, they're always miserable. They're always going to be miserable. They will feign happiness, sure. Of course they will, especially to their new supply. And by new supply, I always mean the person they're currently with is the new supply. That's who I call the new supply. Unless, of course, they're cheating on that person and then get a new supply, right? But they're going to feign happiness with that person because they're love bombing them and they're trying to swoon them and all this business. But deep down inside, they're bouncing around because they're searching. They're never, ever going to get it. Therapy's not going to do it either. And again, I feel so bad. If you are in therapy with your narcissist and you're holding on to hope, they can learn to curb their behavior for appearances and to appease you. How long they can walk a straight line is the concern. Because they will always need someone to build up their ego and to assuage their, mentality if they've gotten in a fight with you and now, you're going to therapy and boom, another infraction, another fight happens or something. You bring up something old. They didn't even do something new, but you bring up something old. Boom. That's all it takes for them to need their ego stroked, right? On the line they can go. On a dating app they can go. Calling and texting an old person just to get them to text them back something nice to make their head swell a little bit, right? That's all it takes. That's all dishonest behavior. And that is a pattern that they've lived their whole life. And it's needs that they have that they want met. I don't know how you would convince a narcissist to no longer need or want those things when they are broken. I appreciate, thank you for watching. Please go ahead and hit sub, like, and share. It'll help get the word out to others that may need